Good evening and welcome everybody. The first thing that I want to do this evening is apologise in advance. StreamYard is having some glitches today, and I have already put bits and pieces in the chat to say hi to Rob and to Kirsty already, and they are just not showing anywhere. So, and I'm also sure that there's quite a delay on some of the messages coming in. So I'd just like you to be aware of that. But if I don't read out messages or I don't know you're here, StreamYard is being really glitchy. So I apologise for that in advance. But hello and welcome everybody that is here. So far come through has been Rob and Kirsty from Heart's Humble Homestead and Jason from Allotment of the Dead. Nice to see you here. And I would like to do some thank yous right at the top of the show, if I may. The first is to Jay Dixon, who has given me amazing mentorship and research, and also is my show facilitator. And she has been an absolute star. So thank you very much to Jay and everything that you do, and also for you guys, if she can pick you up in the chat, because only 3 people's messages have come through so far and now 8 people watching, so it's a bit confusing. If you have a YouTube channel, she will promote that for you in the chat and provide links, so that's brilliant. I also want to say a great big thank you to Robin from Robin Gardens, who also has an amazing YouTube channel. She's been giving me great advice and insights, and she's also sent me some seeds, so thank you very much. And also Mel. Mel has also sent me a kale cutting, and I'm waiting for that to arrive. It's brilliant. And Bowtie Life, David of Bowtie Life, thank you very much to him, because he has done some really nice research for me, given me some great advice, and he's generally been a really great cheerleader for me. And of course, thank you to all you guys. You have been an amazing support to me throughout my YouTube journey, and that's been brilliant. Just swapping over, pressing buttons, it's not very good. So just want to shout out to the replay crew. If you're watching on the replay, please put a comment in, let us know you're here, have your say, and give us your thoughts, and I will get back to reply to all your comments. Thank you very much. And again, please put any comments in. It's a brilliant community. Your questions give me ideas and thoughts, and it's really good to hear from you and what you're thinking. The first subject for tonight, and I know I'm moving along quite quickly because I'm rushing because I want to get to this. Hashtag 1 year, 1 challenge, surviving on homegrown and bartered food, ultimate self-sufficiency challenge. And that is coming up really quickly. The 1st of March, when I set the date to begin this challenge, is on Sunday. Sunday is the first day, so my last cup of tea from a tea bag will be on Saturday afternoon. I try not to drink tea in the evening. I might break that rule on Saturday because it's going to be a really long time before I have another cup of tea. So that starts then. I did want to speak to you guys and see what your thoughts were about how you wanted me to keep you updated about the challenge. So I had some thoughts about how you can help out. And the first thing, it'd be really great to not be on this journey completely alone. So I have a community page where I post things. And if you have anything you've decided to be self-sufficient in this year, and I'm imagining, Jason, you're going to be quite self-sufficient in chilies this year. If you could put any self-sufficiency pictures you have that you're willing to share onto the community page, that would be absolutely fantastic. Now, I do have a number of people who are going to visit me at Muddy Puddles farm this year, and it'd be great if people do come and visit, if you could think of something to bring with you to barter. So you could take something of Muddy Puddles home with you, and you could bring something that will help me on my challenge. The other thing you could do to help is if you have any videos you publish and there's a little bit in there about self-sufficiency, you can use the hashtag 1 year 1 challenge, and then I will be able to see that and then comment on that. That'd be great. And of course, as always, liking and subscribing and sharing and watching the videos is also a really great support. So that's another thing that you can do to help me out. Now, the thing about finding out about showing you what I'm doing, there are lots of different ways I could do it. I could make a video every day showing you what I'm eating. I think it'd be quite boring. So my thoughts are I could either make a daily post or a short and just show you the meal plan for the day. It's quick and easy and not time consuming. And I think for 365 days, I don't know that you want to have 365 days of videos of watching what I'm having for breakfast, lunch and tea, but it might be interesting to see some of the dishes that I create. The other thing I thought would be really interesting is to have a vlog style video about the wins, things go well, or the challenges that I'm facing during this, and kind of how I'm feeling, because I'm sure there are going to be days where I'm going to be hungry or fed up, days where I'm going to feel on top of the world. That tends to be the way it is, and the different trades that I'm able to make with people. The other alternative, if we don't like that, is to go for a segment on the live show where we update on how the week is going. So those are my thoughts about self-sufficiency. Now, there is one thing that I did want to do, because everybody, especially Kirsty, has been very worried about my ability to drink tea. And my thought is that maybe what I need to do is buy some more Camellias sinensis plants, which are the tea plants. I have one, but it's really small. So that's one of the ideas that I have to supply me, not with regular tea, but maybe the odd cup here and there, along with my herbal teas. So it's kind of one of my thoughts. So I'm just going to check the chat. I haven't checked in with everybody in the chat because, as I say, I've had very little of it come through. So I'm hoping that there is more of it now and I can say hello to people. Let's see. So Rob from Rob's Attic, Rob's Allotment Gardening, is here. As I've already said, hello, Rob. Kirsty from Heart's Humble Homestead is here. And I didn't get the beginning bit of that conversation. Those messages haven't come through. Hi to Jason from Allotment of the Dead. Nice to see you here. And there is, oh, what happened there? Hang on. There we go. There's Jay from Ecology Today. Just to let you know that I'm not seeing everybody's comments. Hi, Steve. It's nice to see you in again. And hi, Sean. We have enjoyed a few dry days. It hasn't been too bad today. A little bit drizzly later on in the day, but we've had, yesterday was glorious. It's really beginning to feel like spring, which is the next topic. And I'm sorry if your messages haven't come through and I haven't said hello to you. I'm really sorry. As I say, StreamYard is playing up. It's really being quite awful today. It's not putting messages up. Yeah, your comments aren't coming through. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Sean. That is really frustrating. It's also taking a really long time. Oh, hello. Hi, Stella. That message made it through on time. That's brilliant. Nice to see you here, Stella. Okay. Now, if you have any questions at any point during the show, pop a capital QQQ in front of it, make it much easier for me to spot if it arrives. That would be great. But what I wanted to talk about just now is, how is spring? How are we? Let's take that one down. Just talk. There we go. How is spring going for you? Let me take that down as well, because there, got me back again. I mean, it's a time of year where we're totally into our full-on garden prep now, which some people may or may not know. My plan was to get Kevin and Ava to do the digging, and I have got a little bit of footage to show you of my attempt to get them to dig in a little while, which I think is quite amusing. So we'll have a little look at that. But we're also really into seed sowing at the moment, and as you can see, I've set up my seedling station there. I've got my grow tent downstairs where I'm getting things to germinate with my heat mats and my lights. So then this is the nursery area of things that have grown. And I'm just interested to know who has started sowing and what have we started sowing. Chamomile tea, Stella. Yes, I grew chamomile last year and I scattered the seeds absolutely everywhere. And I am hoping that I have an abundance of chamomile pop up that's self-sown this year. And Mel. Hi Mel, nice to see you. And I said thank you to you earlier, Mel, for the cutting you sent. I don't know if you were here or not, or whether your messages just were coming through. So it'd be really interesting. What are you sowing at the moment? What's doing well for you? For me, so far, my celeriac or my onions are doing well. Loads of chilies. That whole top shelf there you can see are chilies of varying sorts, mostly sweet ones. So I'm not very into the hot things. I also have quite a lot of things. I have about 150 dahlias growing on at the moment as well. And I've got plugs I've started in loo roll tubes. So the loo roll tube with between 3 and 5 seeds, depending on what it is. So I'll have little clumps of snowball turnips and carrots, and I didn't do beetroot. What else did I do? It escapes my memory now, but lots of different things. There were some lettuce and things put in there too. Yeah, so that's kind of where I am with my seed sowing. And it's that time of year as well where everybody is juggling for space as well. So that's a bit of a dance that we all have to do at the moment. Now, the one thing that is starting up, which is very exciting, and there will be videos out about it, and I did do some videos last year, for hatching chicks. So at the moment, I'm in the process of collecting and labeling the eggs. And I had a brief bit at the intro of my last video where I showed how I label the eggs. So for the eggs I collect, I ideally date them, although I don't always know what the date is when I get to my farm and collect them, because everything's a little bit of a blur. And then I mark them with the type of hen that laid the egg. So it might be an Australorp, for which I mark them AU. It might be a Rhode Island Red, which is an RIR, or a light Sussex hen, which is an LS. But the light Sussex are crosses because the males in with the light Sussex hens are Rhode Island Reds. So those will be set in the incubator on Monday. So that will be interesting. So there'll be lots of updates and footage of the chicks. And if you're really desperate to see them, I do have 2 videos about hatching that I did last year, which have time lapses of the chicks coming out of the eggs. And one is The Big Hatch Day Has Arrived, I think is its title. And the other one is The Biggest Hatch Yet. So they were last summer, those videos, if you wanted to go and have a look at those. Now, I am assuming that chat is frozen because I am not getting any messages through. So I'm going to carry on regardless. If anybody does want to send in messages, that's fine. And I apologise again. I can only apologise if I don't get to them. Now, I did promise that I would show you my attempt at Kevin and Ava, getting them to plough the garden area for me. So this is how it went yesterday. I have carefully removed the tarpaulin, the silage tarp, and I've sprinkled pig food, and I've a pan there to tempt the pigs up, and I've set a lovely walkway all the way down so that I can drive the pigs up. And it was all going very well until the pigs realised that there was so much tape that the energizer couldn't energize that far. Usually they respect it quite well, except Kevin has learned to bury it. But he tested it, surprised himself when he didn't get a zap, and decided to escape. And then, because he had done it so successfully, Ava decided she was going to be brave enough and give it a go. And so, they are currently over there. Oh gosh. Let's see if we can find them. At large. I just saw them run past the hedgerow over there, but they're down by the gate into the other meadow. There they are, evading me. Now, there's a knowing look, Kevin. I could chase them around. All day to no avail, or I can get on and feed the chickens because it's now getting late with them not cooperating. Let them tire themselves out playing and go back to their ark for a little sleep, and then pen them back into their area. But I think using them to dig, while it's a good idea and while it usually would work, Kevin is just my nemesis. I love him, but he's a real pain. So they're going to come around here. The good thing is they seem to enjoy eating the docks and dandelions more than anything else. So as long as they stick to finding those and eating those and clearing out the rubbish, I suppose it's not a bad thing. You know, always look on the bright side. So that's how moving the pigs went for me. That wasn't the end of the saga. I fed the chickens, as I said I was going to. I dealt with some emails and phone calls and did some other chores. And then I spotted them again on the move. Now, I muted this because the wind really was really bad here. And I won't show you the whole clip because at some point I realised they were going to head up towards the garden area and I could head them off if I went round this way. But actually, what happened with the video was it was mostly pointing at the ground because I was really desperately trying to get them into the area, and that was far more important than getting a good shot. So that's how it went moving the pigs. They did eventually get into the garden area where I wanted them to dig. So that's a little bit of footage. It may or may not make it into my next video. I don't know, but I'm sure some of it will. It was an interesting experiment, and I'm really pleased that I gave it a go. I did make a time lapse of them while they were up at the top of the farm, and I have yet to look through that footage, but if any of it's any good, it will be in the next video. Now, I was on a live stream on Sunday on the Urban Gardener channel, as some of you may know, and it was a really wonderful show. Jay Dixon was a wonderful host, and there were so many questions that went on there, what I have tried to do is save some space and some time today to answer some questions. I'm sure there have been some in the audience, but as I say, I'm getting very, very few comments through. The odd one, and a lot of people saying that their comments aren't showing. So I have reviewed and gone through the questions that we didn't quite completely answer. There are some really good ones. So I thought I would cover some of those. One of those was, what are your future plans for Muddy Puddles Farm and the YouTube channel? And that is constantly evolving and changing all the time. Ideally, I wanted a lovely place where I could grow food and keep animals and just do whatever it is that I wanted to do. But what it has started to signify and become is a place that is for more than just me. I want Muddy Puddles to be a place that is run ethically and ecologically, well beyond my time. I'm in my 50s now, and at some point, I will no longer be fit enough to chase pigs around a field, and that will become another person's project, and I hope to still be able to enjoy it then. So my goals and plans have somewhat changed. There is a part of me that really wants this to become a community place. I've started by inviting lots of people to come and visit, and some people have either chosen to do that or have already visited. Some people are going to return, I believe, Rob and Pete, and I hope that I can build relationships within the community. And the challenge this year is all about building community and links to local people. And that is really the plan for Muddy Puddles, is to be a community space, to open it up. The flower farm is part of that. There will be a pick your own, so people will be coming to the farm. I'm hoping also to have a certain amount of workshops where people can come, particularly families, to do things like make bug habitats, to build bird boxes, to have a wonderful picnic and a lovely day looking at the animals, to wander around and look at the creatures and the wildlife and the amazing things that are on the farm. And that for me is really important. The YouTube channel is a way to build community. You guys are all really important. And also to let people know that there is this opportunity, there is this place that they can come and share and enjoy the outdoor space and the growing space with me. The next question was, how do your viewers and community support the farm? Well, by being here and watching the videos, by coming to visit. I've had so much kindness spread to me through people who have researched things for me, people who have given me advice, people who have sent me seeds, people who have come to visit, people who plan to come to visit. All of those things are really valuable to me. All the people that are involved with Muddy Puddles are really important to me. The people who live really close to me, my neighbours that are willing to trade and share and give advice. My neighbour who brought his tractor down to pull my car out of the mud a couple of weeks ago. The neighbour that will come and have a look at an animal that I'm not as familiar with as they are and give me advice about housing or feed. All these people have given me so much information, support, and just general cheering me on that I really appreciate them. And I think a lot of that is what's made me want to give something back and build a bigger community than just my little farm and my little bit of land for me and my family. I want it to be open for everybody. I am going to check the comments because I'm hoping that something will have come through. There we go. Mel has come through with, she would love pigs. Pigs are great. Pigs are fantastic personalities, but they are belligerent, and they are large beasts, and they can bite through pieces of 2x4 wood easily. So pigs are brilliant, but you really do need to be aware of safety and management of pigs before you spring into that enterprise. Oh, what is the most surprising thing that you've learned about running a farm? There you go. A pig can bite quite easily through a piece of 2x4 wood. That's one of the things I learned that was quite a surprise. I always knew that I would be working every day. Every day was going to be a farm day if I were to have animals. The surprise came from how difficult that feels when you have 50 consecutive days of rain. I thought it was really prepared, but even the last couple of weeks of the rain got to me. I got to the point where I was like, really, can we is it possible for there to be more rain? Really? Who's trying to punish me? but I turned it around quite quickly. That is a thing. And things that you don't think would be time consuming. So your view of the farm on the videos are really highly edited and shortened versions of the things that are quite interesting. But there are hours and hours spent doing things like scrubbing out feeder pots and bowls, dragging a pile of something from one place to another, lugging bags of feed, carrying buckets of water. There's a lot of really mundane, repetitive stuff. And you know that that's the case and you do it and you don't mind, but you turn out and think this is going to take an hour. And like 2 or 3 hours later, you're like, I'm still doing it. I'm still doing that. And the other thing is, if something can break, it will. It will. A fence, a gate, a hinge, a bucket, the handles will fall off. Who'd have thought? How often have I had a bucket handle fall off this year? I can't believe how many times I've had a bucket handle fall off. How do I come up with ideas for new content? Well, I guess for me, whenever I think, how do I do that? That was hard to do. Oh my goodness me, I wonder if I could manage to do that. I think if that sparked my curiosity, if I've got to go off and do some research to learn how to do that, if I've got to think about it, if I'm curious about whether or not something's possible, maybe somebody else is. And I may or I may not be right about that. But I figured if I'm interested in it, I would hope. I would really, really hope that other people would be interested, at least a little bit. And the other bit of my content is, I think you have to be upbeat and a bit realistic. I show when the animals eat something they shouldn't. I show when the animals escape. I show when things are broken, because we live in a world where everything is fake and everything is created and everything is Instagram ready. And people have a romantic idea that farming is going to be wafting through a lovely meadow of wild grass while your cows gently, quietly stroll through the pasture, munching on this herb and that herb. And it's all going to be wonderful and lovely. And you've got to grow great big vegetables, and it's all going to be easy. And that's not the reality. You know, the cow breaks through the fence. It gets something wrong with one of its udders. I don't have cows, but it's a for instance, you know. The pigs escape. You think that you put them on a really nice piece of ground and then they turn it into a boggy mess. So it's all stuff. It's reality. I like to show a bit of reality. Hi, it's nice to see you, Carol. Oh, no. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. It moved. There we go. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you here. I come up with ideas and they vanish, or the notepad does, that I write them down onto. Yeah, that happens quite a lot. That can happen. I have more ideas and I make videos because these ideas just pop into your head, and then sometimes they pop out just as quickly, or you get really busy fixing something. There we go. Now this is a difficult one. I meant to have a look through. It's really weird. It's a really short video and it's called Is This Wonky? And it's not the video, it was the epiphany I had. I had started the forest garden and I had started with a top swell and a bottom swell, and I was trying to fit rows into a really awkward wedge shape. And I had tried and I tried and it wasn't working. And then I got this bathtub that I recycled and used as a little pond in the corner of the garden, and I set it at a wonky angle because that's how it looked best, and it also would go in. It's easier to dig with it being level, not in a straight line. And all of a sudden I realised I don't have to do lines, I don't have to do rows. And so the garden, all of a sudden I had this freedom, like, just make a bed shape. And so I've got teardrop shaped beds, I've got kidney shaped beds, I've got weird rhomboid shaped beds, and I've got a bone shaped bed. I have a bed I decided, I thought that looks quite nice, and then I looked at it from a different angle and it looked quite phallic and I changed it. But I didn't put that on a video. But and I don't think it was the video I was particularly proud of. It was the epiphany. It was the whole, I'm doing this the way that is traditional, that everybody expects me to do it. But actually, I'm not traditional and I'm not expected. I'm quite a wonky person. And when I came home and said to my husband, I'm doing wonky beds, he went, of course you are. How else would you do them? I was like, oh, okay. So it wasn't an epiphany to him. There we go. Rob's Attic. Have you thought about straw bale gardening? Now, this is something I was commenting to Stella about this. I have done straw bale gardening before. In my little tiny garden, before I just put in 3 really small raised beds that were about 1.5 meters square. They were really small beds. But before I had those, I put in, I think, about 6 straw bales. And I had the chickens and I conditioned them with chicken manure because I had chickens, and they conditioned really, really quickly. And I grew so much salad in them. I grew so much stuff in them. It's brilliant. Now, I'm not going to do straw bale gardening because I don't need the height, and I don't need raised beds. I've got really good soil. It is heavy clay, but it really holds nutrients and it grows a lot of food. Oh, thank you, Jay's just put on the link to let's see if I can find it now. It keeps moving. There we go. Is that wonky? There we go. Yeah, so I'm not actually going to do straw bale in its traditional form, but I am doing the Ruth Stout method, which is you loose your straw bales and you put that really deep, between 12 to 18 inches deep at least, and then you plant on the surface, but you let the plants grow up through the straw. So my potatoes will be set on. So there'll be cardboard because they're going onto a meadow. There'll be cardboard, there'll be compost, the potatoes will be sat on that. I wimped out a bit my very first earlies and covered them a little bit of compost, and then lots of straw on top of that to let them grow up through. You get clean potatoes, apparently. I've not grown potatoes that way before, so it will be fun. But the mulch I'm going to use on all of my beds this summer is going to be straw. I used grass clippings last year, which is fine, but if your mulch wears thin at the end of the year, which it does, it breaks down, you get a lot of grass seed dropped and a lot of grass come back, and I've been battling that a little bit, so I'm going to switch over to straw rather than grass clippings for my mulch. If anybody is interested in straw bale gardening, then Stella, and she's just recently, yes, growing with Stella. There we go. She has just acquired her straw bales, and she is going to, within her video, show people the processes for conditioning them, because straw bales are brilliant, but you can't just plant straight into them. You have to condition them first so they're ready to use. And there is a process to that. So if anybody's interested in giving it a go and having a think about that, Stella is the channel to have a look at. Let's see, any more questions? What has been your, I typed that wrong. There we go. Let's get rid of that one. I can't remember what the question said. Let's try a different one. Are there plans for new animals on the farm? I altered this question a little bit because I did answer it on the Let's Get Growing show on Sunday. And I have insider knowledge that there are going to be new animals on the farm really soon. So you'll have to keep watching the channel to see that. But Ava needs a boyfriend. I haven't been able to source her a boyfriend, but I might have been able to source her a future boyfriend. So there will be a new arrival at some point. Now I'm thinking about this. What has been your best, maybe your best moment since starting the channel? I can't remember. Never mind. We'll go back to comments. Let's see. So we've got some people. Yeah, and again there. So my raised beds are for my chronic pain and neuropathy, to make it easier for the bad days. And that's absolutely, there are so many reasons to have raised beds. The first being poor soil could be one. You might not have good enough soil to grow directly in. The second could be some sort of disability or chronic pain or mobility issues. Convenience, it's just more convenient to not have to bend over. And the other one is aesthetics. Raised beds really do look nice, and it makes it very easy to keep the pathways out of the beds and to have that definition. So there are lots and lots of reasons to have raised beds, but I'm on 9 acres and I just don't have the space to have raised beds. Having said that, I'm going to have 2. So I'm going to have a herb spiral in the middle of the perennial garden. So that will go around in a conical shape and have a high point in the center. So that will be a raised bed. And the other thing is I have heavy clay soil. I want asparagus. I really want asparagus, and it won't live in my soil conditions. It's too heavy and too wet, and it will grow beautifully in the summer, and in the winter it will just rot and die. There is no ifs, buts or maybes. If I want asparagus, I have to have a raised bed for that. So I'm going to have a look at some options. I'm thinking I can use stone that's already on the land, build a stone wall. The idea being that I'm using the resources that I have, which is not only cheaper, but also, less travel, less impact on the environment, because sort of stuff that's there. Let's have a look, see if there are any more comments. Yes, love the herb spirals, classic permaculture. Yes, it is a classical permaculture thing. I'm having mine with, because of the book that I bought, the Pippa Chapman book, I've been inspired. It's going to be a tea herb spiral. So everything that I need to make my herbal teas will go into the herb spiral. That's the plan. And it'd be good because I'm going to one place I can harvest lots of things and think about blends, It'd be simple rather than having to go look for the different plants and maybe forget about some or miss them. They'll all be in one place. I can harvest all of those and bring them home and process them in the dehydrator or hang them dry or however I choose to process them. That's the thought process behind that. The permaculture orchard is coming along nicely, and that's another thing that's evolving. I've always been really interested in polyculture, the planting of groups of plants and flowers and how they interact and work together. It's always been really fascinating for me. And that's developed so much more since I've been on my permaculture course, and I'm still studying that to work out how everything will work together, how everything will, how I can theme different beds, what will work well together, what will be a beneficial polyculture, which plants best complement each other. So that's been a really interesting thing to learn. So Carol was saying there that her green stalk will be for teas and medicinal spiral until the plants get too large. So that's a good idea. And the good thing about the green stalk, I guess, is it's mobile, so you can move it about, so it can be really near the house, so that you can pick your teas and harvest your plants. So that will be really good. Okay. It's been a very strange show because I feel like I am missing a lot of chat from people. I keep thinking that I've missed something out, and I hope I haven't offended or upset anybody. Going to show this very briefly. So if anybody wants to reach out to me in any way, if they feel like they would like to barter, if they feel like they would like to come and visit the farm, or indeed be a guest on my show at some point like Kirsty did, please email me. I popped it on the screen now, but it's also available if you go to the channel landing page and click the more information. My email address is also in there. So if anyone is interested in that, please reach out to me. We have some more comments. What we got there? Green stalks are very expensive in Canada. Are they same here? I believe they are quite expensive here. In all honesty, I haven't ever inquired about the price of them, but I do believe that they are quite expensive. And there are some people that when they have them, they won't go back. There is no way they're going back to not using green stalks. They find them great. And most people I know that have had one end up with 2 or 3 or more. They seem to be quite addictive. My perspective on it is, for me, with the amount of land that I have, it's not something that I need to look into. I have so much space to grow. I think they are really great for people that have small gardens, small balconies, or limited sunshine, because they move. So, it gives you the ability to keep your plants in the sun and move them around the garden. As the sun moves around, to make sure they're getting that 8 hours of sunshine for things to grow well. That seems to be where they're most valuable. But for me, it wouldn't be a good use of my money. Yes, I love the tree guilds. So this is Carol from South Florida Sunshine Tropicals. Yes, I love the tree guilds. I did do banana circle, and the ducks came and they were digging up the pup roots. It took me a bit to figure out why the pup kept falling into the pit. Okay. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. No, what's his name? Jeff Lawton on Discover Permaculture. He's a big proponent of banana circles, and he uses them as a compost mechanism. So he will make the banana circle and keep throwing the compost in the middle, throwing the compost in the middle. Bananas I would love to grow here. We can grow the plants. We have to protect them in the winter, but very few, if any, get bananas on those plants. And the tree fields that I'm thinking of are mainly led with the traditional British fruit, which are the apples and the pears, cherries, damsons, plums, medlar, quince, those types of fruit, and then underplanted with some shrubs and bushes and some ground cover, the strawberries and creeping herbs and things like that as well. And there, Jay's very kindly put up my email should anybody want to contact me. I caught the duck one day and told him you're supposed to be eating snails, not my banana pop roots. I have discovered animals will often eat what you don't want them to eat, Carol. I have found that they do that a lot. Okay. No, I did have another video clip, but let's pop that one up again. I did have another video to show, and I thought, no, maybe it was too much, but I will pop this one up because this felt good at the end of the day. Come on then. Come on then. Keep moving. Well done. Keep going. Well done. Good. So this was them at the end of the day after I had managed to get them to the place where they were supposed to dig. Head back home. And look at that butt wiggle on Kevin. What an attitude. That is total sass and swagger as he sauntered home. Yeah. Carol, StreamYard hasn't been working tonight. There have been a lot of comments come in, and even earlier on in the evening, Jay and I were welcoming guests and saying hi to people in the chat, and our messages weren't showing up either. So StreamYard just isn't putting messages through, which makes it a bit strange because apart from you, my lovely, it feels like I'm in a little echo room on my own. It's a bit strange, but yes, there are people here, and I apologise if anyone has made a comment and I have missed it. But yes, that was the end of the day, and that felt like a complete win when, after having such a tricky start to the day, they actually did what they were supposed to and went back home again. So I was really, really pleased with that. There. It's weird it shows 14 here on my side. Okay, yeah, it doesn't show that many people on. I've got it running on my tablet. It says 16. It says not so many on the screen here. Yeah, it's odd. There is something not quite right about StreamYard. There have been a lot of people who have done live streams this week, and they've spent a lot of time apologising for buttons that haven't worked, for clips that haven't queued, for shared screens that haven't worked. It's just been really, really tricky. So it's one of those things. I'm learning. I'm not brilliant at this yet. I hope to be one day. And it's just sometimes StreamYard will work really well and smooth sailing, and we're all yay. And other times it's just glitchy, and it can be quite stressful. But I'm still talking. I'm still assuming people are listening, and I hope that it hasn't been too much me waffling at everybody. And yes, I have come to the end of my topics. Usually that is more than enough material to fill the time, because people ask a lot more questions, and there are a lot more comments to read out, and there's a lot more going on. So I apologise for, as I say, the glitchiness, and I guess that's where I've got to. I will pop this up. Please remember to hit the like button before you leave, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have a gardening friend or somebody that's just generally interested in animals and things going wrong on a farm, please do share my content. That helps me to grow. That tells YouTube that I'm worth watching and putting out there. And oh, got a comment come through. There we go. J. A herb spiral is a three-dimensional stack garden bed, often built with stone or brick in a helix shape, designed to maximise herb production in small spaces. That's absolutely correct, spot on. And that's what I'm building. And then there's some more information there. A tree guild is a community of plants, insects and fungi intentionally arranged around a central tree, often fruit or nut bearing, to create a self-sustaining, productive ecosystem. That's also true. I'm hoping to get a video edited and out later this week, which will be nice to get done. The sun has been shining, which has been fabulous. It hasn't been like that at all. I had 3 long, full days outdoors on the farm working really hard, and I've got loads of footage. I just need to edit it. And it's in a queue of things to be edited, because I also have a cheese making video I have promised people, and that is also there. Right, I am going to sign off now because the messages aren't coming through. Again, all I can say is I'm really, really sorry about that. It was lovely to hear from the people whose comments were being posted, and I will see you again either on you guys' lives or on the live next week. So thank you very much, and goodbye for tonight.